Hello and welcome to the guide. In today's video we're going to cover the Poison Nova Necromancer, a very fun and good build for farming certain areas in Diablo 2 Resurrected, and also a very good build with some investment for player versus player dueling. In this guide we will go over the mechanics of the build, skill and stat points, leveling, breakpoints, and gear for the build. Timestamps will be down below. Let's get right into it. As for the mechanics of the build, as the guide states, our main attack or damage output is going to be Poison Nova. Okay, we're also going to use lower resist to bring the enemy's resistance down. Now we'll come over here to these two, cast a Poison Nova after lower resist. Basically you want to just, whatever enemies you come up to, lower resist, cast a Poison Nova. Now if the enemies aren't going down quick, you want to go ahead and go to Corpse Explosion. You can explode all the corpses in the area, as you can see. Lower resist, Poison Nova. Lower resist, Poison Nova. Let's see if we can find a little bit bigger pack. There we go. Lower resist, Poison Nova, and then I'll cast Corpse Explosion. They're not going down too quickly. So, in a nutshell, it's pretty simple. Just make sure you lower the resistances of the enemies. Cast your Nova. If it doesn't take the enemies out right away, go ahead and hit your Corpse Explosion. Now we'll get into the skill tree. So when it comes to the skill tree for leveling, we'll start off with, I would go summons. Now this is the way that I leveled. At level 2 you can get Raised Skeleton. You want to keep leveling that. Go into Skeleton Mastery. Go into Summon Resist, because as you can see right here, Skeleton Mastery and Summon Resist give bonuses to Raised Skeleton. Now, I would run Raised Skeletons, get yourself a clay golem. You can go into the different golems down here or whatever. Kind of up to you. I would go with summons though for leveling. Now, once you get to about level 30, you're able to go into your Poison Nova. So I would respec then. Now, for our final tree, you're going to want to, in Poison and Bone right here, you're going to want to max out all three of these. So Poison Dagger, Poison Explosion, and Poison Nova. Poison Nova obviously is going to be your main damage boost or damage output. Okay, and then you want to come down into Corpse Explosion. I have 18 points in there now. My Necromancer is level 91. Corpse Explosion helps a lot in clearing packs. When it comes to cows or just Chaos Sanctuary, whatever you're running where there's a lot of packs and maybe there's monsters that have a lot of life. Now over into curses. Okay, when it comes to curses, I have 8 points in the lower resist. I wanted to kind of, with all my pluses to skills, when I have my gear on, it brings it up a lot. My negative resist is like 65%. Get one into each of these. And then definitely you want to get lower resist up a little bit. I mean, you can get away with even putting 1 point into it or 2-3 points into it. For my build though, I wanted to put more than that into lower resist. That's actually what I'm adding to now. For in-game summons, definitely you want to at least get one into Clay Golem. You want to get one into your Summon Resist down here. And then get one into all these others. I wouldn't worry too much about your Fire Golem. Now, it's up to you. You're going to have points left over at the end. If you want to, some people like to max out Summon Skeleton instead of adding into, lower resist, or instead of adding into Corpse Explosion. That's up to you. But for me, with my plus skills, brings these up to like 17 or 18. You know what I mean? So I have a few skeletons running around me just as meat shields. You want to add more points to get more skeletons, and go that route. That's up to you. But like I said, for me, I just went into lower resist. And also I went into Corpse Explosion just to get the area of effect for that bigger. Because this, when you're doing cows or running the pits or whatever, Corpse Explosion is awesome for clear. Now back over here into Poison and Bone. You may be wondering, why didn't you go into Bone Armor? Now the reason that I didn't go into Bone Armor is because I don't like to have to keep remembering to recast it. And also for my build, I went max block. And with max block, in my opinion, I don't need Bone Armor. I don't really worry about it. But if you want to, you can go ahead and throw a point into Bone Armor. And then its synergies, like right down there, Bone Wall and Bone Prison, give bonuses to Bone Armor. So you could throw one into there, one into there. Get your bone armor up. If you want to be casting that all the time, that's up to you. Now, as for stat points, there's a couple different routes you can go with this, but when it comes to strength, you only want to add enough strength to where you can get your gear on. Now, I have Enigma, which gives a lot of strength, as you can see down there, plus 68, based to character level. You know, I have Mara's that has a little bit of strength. I have strength on my boots. So I didn't have to add any strength. As you can see right there, my base value of strength is 15. If you need to add strength, you know, and also I do have a Nihilus and a torch. So if you don't have these things, you don't have strength in your gear, you're going to have to add to your base strength to get whatever gear on that you're wearing. So when it comes to strength for the end game, just add enough strength to get your gear on. That's all you want to do is strength. Now, dexterity, you really don't have to add any dexterity unless you plan on going with block, okay? I went for pretty much max block. I have 73%. You can get up to 75, and the way that you get block is by adding dexterity. So, you know, the base value is at 150. I have 200 dexterity. If you want to go max block, like, you know, I have the Monoclus shield, which gives a lot to block off the base, and I added the dexterity to where I would have close to 75%. You know, a few more points and I would be at 75%. I have 73. And the reason I went max block is because it's awesome when you teleport into packs, or, you know, even in PvP when you're going against melee builds, you know, like barbs and stuff like that. Block helps a ton, you know, in PvM and PvP. So if you want to go max block, add enough dexterity until you get your block chance to wherever you want it at. If not, don't add any dexterity, and then your remainder of points are all going to go into vitality. You basically want to dump as much into vitality as you possibly can. You know, that's obviously going to get your life up. Energy, you know, my energy right here is just from my gear. I didn't put anything into energy whatsoever. Now I'd like to briefly cover the breakpoints. When it comes to breakpoints, as you can see right here, we have the cast rate breakpoints, faster block rate points, and the faster hit recovery breakpoints. We're going to focus on the cast and the hit recovery, not too worried about the block on this build. When it comes to the cast rate, the breakpoint that I'm hitting is the 75%. It's like the easiest one to hit, and really, in my opinion, for the Poison Nova Necro, it's the only one you really need. So if I were you, you know, at least try to hit the 48%, 75 if you're able to. Don't worry about the vampire. That's, you know, unless you have the Training Owl's full set, then you're going to go buy all these breakpoints, okay? That's vampire version. But for the regular version without the full Trang set, basically I went with the 75% FCR breakpoint, which is nice for telling around fast, getting through packs, casting fast. You definitely want to go with at least the 48 or 75. When it comes to the faster hit recovery, you want hit recovery first of all because you don't want to get stun locked. You don't want to teleport into a pack of cows or any pack of monsters and they hit you once and you're locked and you can't cast. They hit you again, they keep on hitting you, and you get in this loop of just being completely stunned to where you end up dying. So you want to get your faster hit recovery up. At least go for the 39%. I went for the 56, and I'm actually even thinking about going for the 86%. But like I said, at least go for the 39% or the 56% when it comes to the faster hit recovery. The faster cast rate and hit recovery are pretty crucial to the build. Alright, so when it comes to the gear, basically, it all depends on your budget, right? I mean, if you have a lot of money in game, so to speak, you know, you can wear some nice gear. If you don't, you're going to have to pretty much wear what you can pick up or find. You know, if you're on a lower budget, try to get anything you can with plus skills. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, I got some stuff over here. You know, try to wear a Shaco, or if you can't get that, make a lore helm or soul. Super easy. 2-socket helm. You know what I mean? Pick up any, you know, there's other specific, unique Necromancer helms with like +1 to skills and stuff like that. But for your helm, just go, you know, with whatever you can. As far as budget weapon, you know, Spirit's always good. It's got, you know, faster hit recovery, cast rate, all skills. I mean, Suicide Branch is good. Bone Shade is good. Blackhand Key is good. Gravespine is good. Arm of King Lyric if you had to. You know, all these things that give you plus skills. Definitely a plus for the build. Now, the two best in slot for the build when it comes to your weapon, if you can get your hands on it, you know, first off, try to get a Hoto, Heart of the Oak. This is what I used for a long time. You know, +3 to skills, faster cast rate, all resistances. You know, Heart of the Oak's good for a lot of different builds. But the in-game item that you want for this build, the overall, aside from Enigma, best item for this build is going to be the Death's Web right here. Now, keep in mind, this is definitely a more expensive item, but it gives you, you know, +2 to all skills. Right there, down below that, it gives +1 to poison and bone skills. Now, you can get +2, you know, mine's just a +1, but right there, you can also get +2 to poison and bone skills. You know, you can faucet it with the 5/5 poison faucet. It gives, now the big thing here also is the -2 resistances. Okay, right there you can see on mine, -50% to enemy poison resist. That, along with my lower resist curse, I mean, I'm taking down the resist by like 115%, which is awesome. Makes it to where you can pretty much kill everything in the game with your poison damage. You know what I mean? That, along with your Merc and the few summons that you might have, you're just going to be smashing through pretty much all content. I mean, I don't know of any area that I couldn't do with this build, to be honest with you. So, for in-game, you definitely want to try to get your hands on a Death's Web right here. Very crucial to the build. You'll see a big difference in the performance of the build once you have this. Don't get me wrong, the build works just fine on the other stuff. You can pretty much do everything, but this is definitely going to be a game changer. Okay, when it comes to gear, low budget or leveling wise, you know, you can go with a stealth armor right here, run, walk, cast. You know, simple runes, Taleth, Skin the Viper Mad Guy is nice. You know, cast rate, all skills, all resistances. You know, like I have this 3 to PMB circlet with 63 life that I got from the vendor. Now, when it comes to your shields, you know, like I spoke about in the stats section, I went with max block, so that's why I went with this shield right here. Right down there, you can see 40% increased chance of blocking. So this gives a high base chance of blocking, as well as resistances and plus the skills and all that good stuff. So overall, this is a great shield. I would suggest going max block if I were you. I mean, that's just my opinion. You don't have to if you don't want to. Now, you can go with Spirit Shield. You know what I mean? You get cast rate, hit recovery, vitality. Obviously, Spirit's awesome, just like the sword over here. But, you know, it's all up to you. When it comes to your amulet, you know, you can get, like, anything that you can find. You know, I like Mara's. Now, excuse me. I hit my faster cast point with the train gloves, the 2 rings, the belt right here. Now, you want to get your cast speed up however you can. You can get it from your amulets, your rings, your belt, your gloves. You know what I mean? So, whatever you can. I also have a circlet right here. You know, I'll show you real quick all my gear. I have Death's Web, this circlet, Mara's, this shield, Enigma, Mage Plate, Arachnid Mesh Belt, 2 faster cast rings with resistances, Sandstorm Trex for the run walk, also for the strength and the vitality, and then also for the faster hit recovery. Now, one thing that you're going to want to get for sure, and you don't really want to go with any other option on this build, is also the train gloves. Now, the reason you want the train gloves, as you can see right there, gives +2 to curses, 20% increased cast, and also right down below that, 25% to poison skill damage. That is definitely going to be a nice boost for our damage. So, in my opinion, there's no other glove that you want to put in slot. You definitely, and then, you know, you can get trains fairly cheap this late in the game. So, definitely want to go with those gloves. But when it comes to gear overall, you know, I just pulled these things out to give you guys, for instances, put on whatever you can. You know, get as much plus skills, resistances, whatever you're missing. You know, like right here for the shield, it's the Ancient's Pledge Kite Shield, but it's great because it has a lot of resistances. So if you're having trouble with resistance, use that. I mean, when you're on a budget, use whatever you can. Try to get your plus skills up, definitely. You know, like right now, I'm at, you know, basically 1k life. With battle orders up, I think I have 1.7 or 1.8. Now, keep in mind, I went max block, so I put points into dexterity, and also my inventory right now is just full of MF charms, you know, because I've just been farming. Over here, you know what I mean, I have a ton of just life charms. So, you know, basically I switch these out, like for harder content, or if I'm going to go PvP, I'll switch out all my MF charms for life charms. I'll actually fill my whole inventory with life charms. and it bumps my life up to like 2.5, 2.6k with battle orders. So, you know, that's all up to you. Another way you can also get damage for the build is obviously by getting Poison and Bone skill Grand Charms. You know, you could get a few of them in here, definitely boost up your poison damage. Another way to get damage for the build, say that you have, you know, a Shaco, or you have like this circlet right here. You can also put a 5/5 poison faucet into either of these, you know what I mean, to get even more damage. Or you can get a helm with like three open sockets and put, you know, 3 faucets in there for more damage. You can mix and match, you know, your gear and kind of do what you want with it, but that's also a good way to get damage. Overall, you know, I just want to say this build is a great build. It's really fun to play. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully this video has been helpful for you guys. I had a lot of people in the comments of other videos asking for a build guide on this, so, you know, here it is. If you want to see this build in action, I actually have videos up where I'm farming in the pits and other things with this build, so you can see it in action right there if you want to go check that out. Also, if this guide has been helpful for you guys, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button and check out my channel. I'm trying to get my channel to grow, and I'd really appreciate it. Thank you guys for watching. Have a good day.